Hello, how are you guys doing? Right now, it's actually in FMCO, and I just wonder how everyone doing right now, right? Because like we're being locked down, okay, and we have to. Some people say stuck at home, but I prefer to say this way: is that we are safe at home, right, Adrians?
Yes,
So
yes.
like are you do you think yourself is getting busier compared to like our usual day, like like what we can do is quite limit for the time durations, because like showroom probably will going to close at around 5 or 6 o'clock, but like do you find yourself more productive at home or not?
In fact, right,
Yeah,
being stuck at home, I feel that we are busier.
that's
Every
good,
day is
that's
full
good,
of activity and all like that. And by the way,
that's good.
welcome all to the Xiao Xiao show.
Yeah,
you
welcome to
might
South South.
Yeah, some of you probably stumble upon this live video, right, for the first time. Usually we do it in Chinese, but today we do a special edition in English because we have been getting requests to do the English version. So for those of you, right, who knows that any of your friend, right, working in the property industry or any sales industry or whatever, right, get them to the show today because we're gonna review something, I think, and answer your question. This sales show, right, Aaron and I, we specially do it every week. Usually we do it once, but now we do it twice so that we can answer your questions. So bring your questions in and we'll try to answer it on the show today, right? So, and today we're going to talk about a few things, okay, which is regarding branding, right? Yes, I think most of you probably has heard of branding like all the time, especially since 2020, because when everybody says you got to bring a business online, right, and you go on and all sorts of courses, right, social media courses, like ads courses, or some people will tell you how to do branding, how to build a social media brand. So let's talk about it today. Like, actually, branding means that it's your reputation, is your brand, right? A lot of people has something like, when we talk about branding, it has to be something like very powerful, like Apple, like Samsung, like all these kind of big brands. But at the end
Yeah.
of the day, right, when you think about brand, for us at the personal level, it's more like your reputation. So in other words, right, a lot of us has brand offline, but how many of us have brand online? Because branding offline is like your brand in your social circle, where most of your friends know you by. When they hear your name, they know what you can do for them. They know what you are good at. They know whether you are a good friend or a not so good friend, right? It's all that kind of reputation that we talk about, right? Aaron, what do you think about that?
Okay, to me, I think branding, like a lot of people get it, is like, oh, it doesn't mean that I have a logo. Okay, I design a logo, and then I constantly post my photo. I go to studio and take a different style of photo. And is that called branding or not? To me, like that probably people will remember you because of the nice photo. Right. But at the end of the day, when people mention your name or people mention something about you, do they know what you're doing or not? Do they know that the level of services or thing that you're doing is at what level? Some people that, hey, I'm looking for someone to service my aircon. Chances are you will just immediately you will say, hey, look for this guy. Okay, right now, let's say lockdown. Okay, we can't go to retail shop, right? And we are doing online shopping. Chances are there's two brands in your mind right now. Okay, like no need to mention, one is start with L, one is start with S. So that is how people remember your name, even though the spelling may be weird. Okay, even though that words doesn't exist before, and that brand people will still remember, because this is how this brand is bringing value to people, and people will remember it eventually, right? So
Yeah.
I think, to me, when it comes to branding, it's like how you want people to remember you, what are the value that you are provide to people, and at what standard you are provide to people for that value, right? So then people will start to spread about it. People will start to share, like your content. We are talking about digitalization, so chances are everything is actually built online. So people will start to notice your post, learn about your post, and probably read about it, or watch your video, just because you are providing certain value that will impact to that person. Not just your logo, not just how you post for the photo, but it's like inclusive of all these things that make up your brand, right, Adrian?
I think that Aaron did bring out a really good point, right? Before I move on, right? For those of you who are watching this right now, comment hi in the comment section. I want to see who is watching this right now. Hi,
Yeah.
Andy. Yeah, our best follower all the time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for supporting us. And comment hi. I want to see who is watching this right now. By the way, Aaron did bring out one thing which is really important. Okay, a lot of people mistake branding as like I just want to put out all the beautiful things. Well, you can do that. You can do that, right? But at the end of the day, what does all these like mean in terms of your service, and what can you bring? What value can you bring to the audience, right? So I always tell people that instead of like just thinking about all the glamour, all the fancy picture dining,
Fine
those are
dining.
lifestyle, which I think is good. But at the end of the day, what do you want people to remember you of? That's something that we have to always discuss and talk about. I see Joe, I see Kozon. Hello, good evening, everyone. Okay, so this will be the topic that we'll be discussing today. But today I want to tell you one story. You want to hear a story? If you want to hear a story,
Wow.
comment story in the comment section. Adrian's story time. But it's something that has been happening since 2 weeks. I think it was a very right timing since the first day of MCO, FMCO, right? There was a new app that is launched in Malaysia. How many of you here heard of Disney Plus? If you heard of Disney Plus, comment D plus in the comment section. Comment D plus. So Disney Plus, right, is similar to Netflix,
Netflix,
but
yeah.
it has a different show. Aaron, do you install or do you subscribe to Disney Plus?
Well, I didn't really download yet because right now I'm actually getting my son to getting online classes.
So you
that
don't want
is,
him to watch
and
them.
yeah, like don't want to divert his like disturb.
Right.
Well, for yourself, I think you subscribe, right?
I subscribe Disney Plus because my wife subscribed it because she really wants to see how is it so much different compared to Netflix. Now hear me out, guys. Year 2020, Netflix stock right actually just rise, and the sales and subscription rise like rocket. Why? Because everyone in the whole world is forced to stay at home, and what is the only entertainment? Watching TV, right? Which is what I will strongly recommend you guys not to do right now. I mean, like you can watch one or twice in a week, but please don't watch it every day, because don't take this as a holiday, right? Just a gentle reminder for all of you guys, right? So Netflix has been one of the hottest company in year 2020 because everybody wants to watch TV or watch the movie on TV, right? Now, where does Netflix get all their movie from? From all the big studio, right? All the movie is not filmed by Netflix. So they got it from someone else, which one of the biggest supplier is who? Disney. Yeah. And Disney realized that, hey, in fact, why are we letting Netflix getting a cut of our, product instead of us doing it, distributing it ourselves to the audience? Now think about that, guys. Today, Netflix actually doesn't have any product. So he is the middleman. So when Disney decided to launch their own platform, which is Disney Plus, today Disney has their own audience. Now Netflix lost a huge percentage of their existing subscriber because they cannot watch the original show they have been watching on Netflix, right? So suddenly Netflix is not that valuable anymore, and most people shift to Disney Plus. So now, why am I telling you this story? You always gotta think like think in the way that how can we don't become the next Netflix? Now, okay, does Netflix have any contingency plan? Yes. They long ago they already foresee that some of this studio probably would cut them off. So they start producing their own Netflix original
series.
Yes, they make their own series. So guys, Netflix is smart in the sense that they build their own brand and start building their own product, like their own Netflix original shows. So that means the existing subscriber will still have a reason to stay with them, right? They wouldn't just leave because they don't have Disney anymore. Now the subscriber probably subscribe both lah. Then these two company will be making money from you. So if you think about that, Disney is the movie producer. They usually don't have direct access to the end consumer, right? Because they have to go through cinema, or last time Blockbuster, like renting out DVR, or through Netflix. But right now, since they already saw this kind of business model, they can build something to replace the middleman. Now they are going directly to consumer. Right in the comment section, D2C, direct to consumer. So the point of the story is, today, us as property agent, think about that. We are the middleman. Developer build property, we sell the property to the end consumer. Now, if one day developer decided to go direct to consumer, are we replaceable?
What
Now,
is the value
is-
that you are still
Yes.
providing? Yep.
So that depends on what value do you provide to your customer. Why would developer still need you? Why would your customer still need you? If you can answer that question, then even though when developer try to go for that kind of model, you will still be there, right? And here comes the most important point, which is your brand. If you have built your brand along the way, right? You have a group of loyal subscribers, loyal customer, your loyal followers. Even though if the developer would directly go to consumer, your consumer will still choose you to be the one that helping them to get the property. If you don't know what am I talking about, right? We literally have a colleague of our own experiencing this in her career. You can watch it back in my page 2 days ago with Natasha. She told her story, like her customer asked her to help her to buy the property, even though she can buy directly from the developer herself. So that's the power of branding.
Yeah.
Right?
I think one thing that branding also help to build one thing, which is very important to me, is like this word called trust. Like when you talk about, let's say we mentioned about Apple, you know that the product quality is like no doubtable, is there, okay? Samsung is there. So if you build out your branding to certain level, when people talk to you, and more so that person would love to talk to you, would love to spend time with you. It's like they are spending your precious time, right? So why? Because they trust you. They know that whatever advice from you, especially came to property, they will value it highly. And that is because like you are building your branding. Just imagine this: if there is an opportunity for you to talk to Bill Gates, and for information, I couldn't remember how much that people spend for a meal with Warren Buffett, right? I think that value of money is like crazy. Why? Branding, of course, eventually is about the value. Like you hardly see Warren Buffett, like post himself, with all the Changi photo, but we know it's all about the value. It's all about people willing to make him spend that kind of money just because he know just one day they will make back, just because of that 1 hour, 2 hour lunch session. So I think one thing that Adrian is actually mentioning right now here is actually eventually may or may not, developer go direct to consumer. However, if you are still there to provide the value, buyer will still come back to you. Hey, I know that this property is very good, but I still prefer to hear from you. What do you think
Yes.
about this property, right?
Yes.
So I think that you are more neutral and you know me, okay, and I trust you. So that gives you a ticket, okay, to that buyer. Imagine not just one, but 1,000 of them wanted to talk to you before they make any decisions.
Yes.
So and you got opportunity that to actually structure the deal or whatsoever, like just to give your honest opinion to the buyer. And you know what? Probably the buyer would love to go through you to get that property. So if you are just like normal agents and they have no reason to come to you, that's first thing. Secondly, they also don't know your existence in the markets because they couldn't reach you. So probably what they'll do, they'll go to social media, they'll go to like Google just to search out certain real estate agent in Kuala Lumpur in certain area, and those that we branding pop up, and then once probably the Facebook pop up first, go in, add the Facebook, and then learn about that person. After they learn about this person, they gain the confidence, they gain the trust in between that. And then probably right now, I think with technology, they can just like send you a messengers, I'm about to buy this property and I found you in social media and I know that you're expert, in this area or regarding this segment of property. Can I have your advice? Yeah, I think that is all branding that build. So will people reach out to you now? And how do these people wanted to reach out to you? And where do they find you? I think you have to think along that line. And what are the value you bring to people that will solve people pain point? So imagine this. A lot of people are doing branding based on how they want market to see them. All right, but they forgot what are the value that he can help the market to solve, and whereby this is the needs of the markets, that these needs eventually will become the magnet that helping you to attract all the right customer clientele to you, because you are solving their problem, and that's make up your branding, right? What do you think, Adrian?
I say that's completely right, because ladies and gentlemen, always come from an angle of what problem can you solve. You see, there's a saying that goes like this: wherever there's a problem, there's a business opportunity, right? So now, when it comes to branding, wherever there's a problem, there's a chance for you to build a brand. Because when you can give free advice, oh, by the way, here's the thing: a lot of people are very stingy in terms of their advice and their services. They think like, oh, you didn't pay me, why should I help you solve your problem, right? Now, you can think like that and you can make money in a certain way, probably. But it will be a better way for you to leverage on this knowledge that you have. You use it to trade for what? To trade for your brand. Because at the end of the day, your brand equals to your reputation. And if you are able to solve whatever problem that your followers have and someone out there on the internet, then you build up your reputation. So write this down in the comment section. Legacy is more important than currency. Don't always think about what can I get, how much money can I make by doing this. No, today whatever you're doing right now is actually leaving a legacy. If you don't believe me, right? Like, for whoever are watching this video right now, probably you are watching this 10 years, 20 years, 30 years later, right? This is the video that I recorded in year 2021, June 15. I guess today is 15 years, right? Someone in the future is going to watch this video and they know who I am because I'm here talking to them, like sharing value with these people, right? I'm leaving a legacy. Even if you don't see it right now, this is a way that you can do it. And if you do it continuously, right, what you're doing is you're building up a very strong foundation of your brand for future, not just for a short time frame. A lot of people always think about like, oh, well, I want to build brand online, and they started posting a few video, a few picture, a few article, a few infographics. Then a few months later, probably, then they feel like no one's engaging, no one's liking, no one's sharing, right? I don't even get any inquiry. Then what do? Usually they give up, right? But here's the thing about brand: it doesn't work just after a few days or few months of trying. It comes after continuously doing this. When will it happen? We don't know. But it surely won't happen in such a short time frame, right? So, which is why I say, like Aaron gave a very good point, which is always come from the angle of solving problem.
Yeah. Because I think this the same strategy also apply if you are doing advertisement and all this thing. Like we can't wait just to tell client everything. So like let's say give you a sizes of usual ads, right? The sizes of let's say 16.09, that kind of ads in Facebook. So you try to like put in everything, hope that buyer will see it and then get attracted and then come to you. But chances are probably the buyer focus, when they don't know who are you, the buyer focus is just like your fingernail that big. So it's like suddenly you pop up so many messages, just hope that he can see, okay, and read it, okay, and you have to spend like probably a minute just to read everything. I would say that like chances are it will very rare unless that buyer really like nothing to do. So how you can help him to solve something else that will make him notice your advertisement. Because hey, this is the painting that I'm actually like I'm experiencing. So this is a solution. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
The buyer already
always.
notice your advertisement. So when it comes to building brand, think about a way that why does buyer will think about you, and what are the biggest problem or challenge that you can help the buyer to solve, and how are you building up your own value? You see, branding itself, it also have one problem, Adrian. This is what I found out. Like, they also will be outdated. Example, you may be very good in year 2021, but you stay in year 2021, your knowledge is like, okay, because you're so good, then you just like, okay, probably I stop upgrade myself, and this is what, probably in year 2023, 2025, like your service and your value will kind of like not relevant to that particular market. So once you build out that kind of value, when people start to like gain, like gain attention to you, what you need to do is like keep on upgrade yourself so that you can provide a long-term service to all these clients in regard, right, whatever market conditions, you are still the pioneer. You are still that person in that field. So that also require you to also in the same time upgrade yourself, because brand also came from like certain brand. Like when we grow since young, right? Well, certain brand is actually in our mind, but after a while, we can't forget that brand already, and then certain brand replace it just because like the brand forget to upgrade themselves. The brand forget to actually like, hey, like things have changed. We should also upgrade ourselves. So yeah, that also very important. You might be someone or a certain brand that is like very famous in this year, but how are you going to maintain it for the next 10 years, next 20 years? I think that is also very important.
Yeah, which is why right now, even though McDonald's has always been there, right, we can still seeing them running ads.
Yeah.
Why? Because they want to remind you. Yeah, they don't want to be the
remind. I think.
Yeah,
I actually watched the documentary for McDonald's and read some of the book of the branding, how McDonald's read the branding, right? You see he engaged the happiness, the crowd is so much relevant to the kids. So it actually start to influence, like when you walk into McDonald's, just imagine you are like kids at less than 7 years old, like 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old. The moment you walk in, it's already a happiness to you. The playground, the crowd are actually like welcoming you, and then the food, the happy meal inside got a present, the surprise that you open out the box and then there's toys inside. So what they do after that, just give you a logo, a M, and that M will just remind you about the happiness that you have it in that restaurant. And every memory that you create inside that restaurant, like chances are will be very happy. So at the end of the day, what they do is like remind. There's an M there. So who doesn't want happiness, right? So yeah, that's how, even though right now we are at this age, right? When I see that logo, and yeah, of course, first it made me hungry. Secondly, it also remind all the happiness moment that we have it inside that restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
and back
emotional.
then we are not that online, right?
Yes.
There's no
McDonald's did a really good job in this sense that like it always make you emotional attached to a brand. It's not just logical, like it's an emotional thing. Right? Happiness, is a very great emotion to be in. So yeah. By the way, guys, we're gonna answer a few questions. And for those of you who are watching this right now, you can ask us question and we can answer it. If you don't want to ask us, like, in the comment section, you can just go to our website, right? xiaoxiaoshow.com, right? You can go to the website, you write your question and we will answer it. If you don't want us to, say your name or whatever, we're cool to do that, right? Aaron, I have one question. Like, I think to the point that you asked earlier, which is about giving value, right? Someone actually asked me here saying that the internet right now is full of information, right?
Okay.
There's a lot of other guru, other property agent doing this, like information sharing, So can he or she still fight for a spot in this niche? What do you think?
Okay, I mean, to me, probably we have you can look into different angle. Probably I can give my angle. Adrian later will just add in whatever idea they have. Like, to me, people can just do it. However, it's very hard for one person to do it consistently. Okay, I may do it, during this season, but after this season, some people they actually stop doing it or probably less doing it. So that's first thing. Secondly, like there's a lot of niche in an industry, right? So what kind of niche that you're actually targeting, and does that niche, like is there still a lot of service that you can provide to that niche market? So example, like not to mention, right? Probably you want to brand, like, I mean, we talked about the car story before. You see, look at Proton. Okay, let's mention about brand, right? Proton has been around for like around easily 30, 40 years, right? So what does this brand impact? Like Proton, and then after that, X50 came in. If you see the S70 came in, if you see the S70 niche, it's still a Proton, right? But if you see the S70 niche, right, Proton came in and start to conquer the MPV market. And that is still a niche to the market, whereby this market, if you notice, right, most of this car at this size is like built by like probably Toyota, Honda, or those most expensive brand. But Proton came in and they know that they notice this market is actually around, and then he priced the car price at around 100 plus thousand, but he give in a lot of value in that car, and that's, you see what happened, boom. You know, S70, you may say that S70 is such a good sales, but you see, he's so daring to came out with S50. Like both car is like look so similar, right? Probably the size, yes, is like smaller a bit, but overall it's still quite similar, right? But you see, bam, right now if you go to book S50, you have to wait probably a few months time. So what do I mean? It's like, are you carefully notice that niche market or not? You may see people are doing it. Probably some of them is actually touching here and there. Some of them are really giving it the value. But you see, us in Malaysia, I don't know which industry you are referring. Let's say real estate as an industry, right? Us in Malaysia, right? Like the location itself is a lot of things to talk about it. Not only
localized, right?
Yeah, localized. Secondly, talk about the segmentation of that kind of property. You know, even condo, there's a high end, there is a mid range, there is an entry level. So, what kind of control you want to be niche at? Okay, and then even though like we are talking about entry level, okay, entry level, some people is a luxury type entry level. They want to have lifestyle. I don't mind to sacrifice some room. I probably have 2 rooms, okay, but my house look a bit luxury. Some people they want to buy entry level, but they prefer more room. I just feel to have security, to have more room, because my parents may want to come over. My fathers, parents-in-law may also want to come over. So I think I prefer to have small room, but it's okay that the overall house looks small in size because I have more room. So it really depends on what kind of niche market are you targeting to. So different market, there's a different value, and are you carefully look into that? And also for that market, you also can able to target to first home investor. Meaning to say they already have a house for stay, and right now he's buying a house purely for investment. He know that he's not going to move there. It's purely for investment. And what about this market? So even investment market is a ranges of market. So I think in real estate, if you really want to cut into a niche market, it's like plenty. And one thing for sure, and I think this one is very relevant, Adrian, is like platform changes from time to time. Example, during my era in 10 years ago, I would say that Facebook is like, okay lah, people playing it, but not using it for business. But after a few years, 3 to 4 years, people start to use Facebook as a platform for business. But right now, it's like fast forward, not more than 10 years, it's like probably 6 to 7 years only. Talking about business platform, right? TikTok, IG, and some are using Twitter. So there are so many different platforms, and I'm sure that certain platform is like nobody is actually noticing. And right now we have Clubhouse, and are you going in big time or not? So don't worry about that. You just need to focus in bringing in value. Okay, this is my summary. Focus in bringing in value. People will start to notice you.
I think you break it down very, very good in the sense that there's a few ways you can choose a spot in this whole big industry, right? Don't try to eat the whole cake. Get a slice, right? You can't eat the whole thing. First of all, right, the property industry, if you are talking about property industry, is so huge, right? Like Aaron said, there's a lot of different segments. So first of all, choose a segment. Right? Help us to write this in the comment section. Choose a segment, right? After you choose a segment, next thing is to ask yourself, right, which platform do you want to go full force on? Right, because choosing that particular platform could be your advantage, because you probably are not a kind of person who can appear in front of a camera, but you can talk very well. Go Clubhouse, right? You probably are not the kind of person who can talk very well, or in front of the camera, you cannot just talk like us, like fluently. You started a little bit, but you are a good writer. Then where should you go? Go LinkedIn, right? So there's a lot of different platforms with different kind of skill needed in order to do that. And another point is this, the third one, which is after choosing your segment and also your platform that you want to build on, next thing is to talk about location. Because real estate, right, is very localized. A lot of us always have a misconception that, I want to cover the more the better. In fact, become the local star will be better than becoming a home, like try to cover the whole Malaysia, right? If you are a real estate agent, and chances are you are stuck there in that location. That's why you choose to become a real estate agent there. Unless you're like me, I travel between like KL and Penang, so I kind of had to understand both sides. But today, if you are not like me, like you don't travel that much, you are in that area and your family is there, you probably can't leave that area and you don't have any future plan of leaving the place that you stay right now. My suggestion to you is become the local star, right? Know everything in and out. Where is the school? Where's the bank? Where's the best food to eat, right? If you can do all this kind of review, right? Think about it. Someone who wants to buy a place in your location would always ask this question: if I were to move here, right? Where can I solve all my daily like living convenience things?
Grocery, hardware shop,
We always like to use,
eatery.
like Mont Kiara as an example, because this is a very, very nice area to talk about, right? If you want to talk about like you are Mont Kiara expert, so to speak, can you do like a review on the best 30 cafe in Mont Kiara? Why not? If someone were to buy a place in Mont Kiara, they probably want to know where to eat, right?
Yeah.
So these are the things that you can do localized. So even though, yes, there's a lot of people out there building their brand in terms of, oh, we are property guru. Like, now ask yourself, do you want to be that property guru, or do you want to just be an agent with a brand that you know people can rely on? Right? Think about that from this perspective. Then you know which segment you want to go to, high end, low end, middle end, right? Which type of buyer you want to serve, like first house buyer, first time investor, seasonal investor, right? All these things. Then you have a clearer picture. And by the way, after you mix and match all these things, right, you realize there's a lot of niche that no one ever fill in yet. It's still very empty. Malaysian market, right? Personal branding from agent is still very weak. Not a lot of people are doing this. So
actually, I can really understand why. You know, like even this one you're talking about, like personal branding in real estate market. You see, like most of the agents, I would say 80% of agents are spending their time in talking to client or closing deal, which is something that I would say that is something important to do in the daily basis, like a client call me, or viewing, or this and that. But however, rarely that there is an agent that will willing to spend more than 30% of their time in investing in future. So
right.
a lot of time when you started to do branding, like you do a live video, chances are, I got only 5 eyes to see me, and okay lah, like nobody will see, only this 5% will see me. But if you think from another perspective, like you're doing your first live and you have five view, okay, 5 eyes have seen you. And what if you deliver like the best speech ever, okay, or the best presentation ever in the live? This 5% will start to share, like, hey, you know what? I really heard this guy to talk about this location or talk about this property, and personally, I impressed on it. Okay, so if you guys have any question that regarding property, you should watch this next live. So if 5 of them, 3 of them out of 5, 3 of them refer one of the friends to come to see your live, in next session, 8 eyes already. So some people will have the mentality of just because of 5, I don't deliver it fully because I deem that nobody is seeing it. And another perspective is like, because of this 5 eyes, I will try my very best to make sure this 5% will remain, and not only remain, he will refer to a friend coming in. So that is all about mentality, right? So same, go to branding. When you are doing something else, you are not building for today. You are building for your future, right? So once you build for your future, whatever thing that you do today, it won't reflect in weekend. It won't reflect in like tomorrow. It may or may not reflect in second month, third month. But however, consistency is the key. Like I think we are doing this social show for like easily a month plus or 2 or around there. But you see,
about 2 months about.
Yeah, about 2 months. But you see, consistency is something that is very important in a brand. Okay, like somebody may able to brand like stronger than you. Probably they have more resources than you. But if the consistency, you can go longer, you can go further compared to this guy, I think in long run you'll be win. So no need to worry about big brand, no need to worry about somebody that come in, with like fat resources. I think at the end of the day, what are the value that you bring into the market and what are the problem that you are solving, as long as you have clarity in all these things, very much focus and consistently provide value, people will notice you.
I think that's a very good point. Okay, to add to that point, right? Most of the people who worry that how many people are watching, how many likes they got, right, and things like this, right? Because those people usually they come from their perspective, right? They feel like, oh, when no one is watching and there's no like, means my life is not good, right? Okay, I would say that why not think the other way around? today you are not you have not been in this industry long enough. Your follower base is not that big yet. So what do you expect? Like your first live, you had 1,000 people, right? So instead of focusing on all these like matrix numbers, which reflects it, in fact, this means nothing, right? But why not think about from the other direction, which is what kind of value are you actually giving to the 5% who are listening to you right now, right? If you are doing like the best speech, like Aaron said, what you win is their trust. Again, earlier on when we started this conversation, right? Branding actually means trust. Whether you can make your follower and your subscriber actually trust you so that they choose to do business with you, even if they can choose to walk into developer, but they choose to. Why? Because you have built the trust. So how do you build that trust? By consistently actually giving the value. Despite that, when there's not many people watching you, because you're not working to grow a lot of number in order for you to show off that, oh yeah, I have 1,000 people watching my live. Like if you ever think like that, right, chances are you'll give up in 3 weeks, because that is a long way to go, right? Instead, start thinking of, okay, today there's 5 people watching me. I should think about a way to give them value so that they keep coming for my next session and the next session and the next session. If you always think like this, then you always do your best, and your follower, your viewer, they will actually feel it, man. So to add to Aaron's point.
Yeah. I mean, how many of you getting value here? If you are getting value from both of our sharing, if you don't mind, I just comment. Okay, why not you can comment triple SSS, because when you comment triple S, we will also pop up the link for you if you are keen to join our Facebook group, or if you want to ask us a question. There's a link there. You can just click in and there you can ask us the questions, right? But I also want to see how many of you are getting values, like from both of our sharing, right? So one more thing to add on personal branding, especially in real estate agents, is actually like kind of be like all-rounded when it comes to social media, because some people say, hey, I only do Facebook, all right, and I very much focus in Facebook. So come to YouTube and all these things, I tend to I don't really care, because I never decide to do YouTube or Instagram or maybe TikTok. But if you kind of be all-rounded, right, if you will actually notice, right, each group actually matter when it comes to social media, right? And this thing, if you notice too late, somebody will take away the pie, whereby if you want to conquer into that market again, it will take some time. Even though you already built that brand, but it will take some time to actually fighting with the newcomer. So if you be all-rounded, like, hey, there is a video function in Facebook, I may also try. And for the same video, chances are you can also post it in YouTube, right? And then for the certain posts that you do, you can actually do it in Instagram or, like TikTok as well. Why? Different age group, it also focus in different social media. And when it comes to using social media, digitalization, your own personal branding, right? These are very important. So it's to build your brand, just like McDonald's, right? Like chances are people who are playing playground and all these things, like why are they focused in these children, in these kids? Because you want them to build the memory here, remember what is McDonald's, like go back home, probably the kids will actually like nagging the parents, hey, bring me to McDonald's, I just want to go to that playground, I feel good over there, I have my friends over there. So they actually build the trust since young. So in any social media, try to be all-rounded, try to explore more and consistently deliver the value that you are delivering to the markets. And sometimes certain value will expire, okay, certain value expired, but sometimes certain value will stay for long. So you have to really judge yourself, what are the things that you're actually talking and whether or not it will be expired, like come time to come. So that also very important for you to take into considerations. Yeah.
Right. Good point. Now, another question, Aaron. Right. If someone were to start building their personal brand, right? So which platform should they go for? Facebook lah, Instagram, or Google?
Property related?
Yeah, property. What do you think?
To me, I think that right now you can start on actually right now all the platform are kind in the way that they are actually linked to each other. However, what type of content you can structure in order to link? You see, like in Facebook, there is actually you can upload your own video, right? But the same video you can actually upload in YouTube. The same content you can post it in Facebook, and the same content you can actually post it either in Twitter or LinkedIn, like what you say. So to me, like I said, like if you really want to focus, you can start in Facebook first, because Facebook may be something that very familiar, but don't stay too long, because Instagram and TikTok are coming up very fast. Yeah. And what do you think? Because I think that in some point, in certain point already, it's like things are actually get connected, actually linked all together. It's just how you utilize them. You know, like how you curate your content, how you create your content, that you can actually post it multiple way, and people will still get it.
I say that you gotta start thinking a structure lah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you are asking this question from the angle of you want to do videos, right? Okay, this is my suggestion to you. You always gotta think that you only have 24 hours, so you gotta figure out a way to reuse your content. Okay. Now, what do I mean by that? This is why I insist of doing Facebook Live, because this is our best way to record all our like knowledge and answer that we want to we for each episode. And after this, right, this video that you're watching this right now, it will be cut. All the highlight will be extract out and become a smaller video, probably 1 to 2 minute highlight video that we can post in Instagram.
Reels,
we can repost it on Facebook. Yes. And if we make it into Reels format, which is vertical format, we can reuse it on Instagram Reels or TikTok. Then this video right now is very long. For those who are watching this, we are 40 minutes in. But there's a lot of like chatting and all, and sometimes starter. So our video editor will cut this video into a shorter format, a highlight format, probably like 15-20 minutes. We can post it on YouTube. So those people who are lazy, they can watch the highlight after this. So think about that. You don't need to figure out platform first, but you gotta understand what each of these platforms are doing. Like what kind of content are people expecting? Like people go to YouTube, they expect long video. People go to Instagram, they expect short video. When people come to Facebook, they expect short video unless it's a Facebook Live like this. Facebook Live like this, they probably will watch long video. Just in the comment section, how many of you guys are actually rewatch our Facebook Live after the live? If you do, comment 5 and let me know, comment 5. Which my bet is lesser percentage, which is probably 10-20%. Most people try to catch it live because they know this is live and then they want to watch it the whole way. So instead of choosing a platform, I would say that plan your content. How would you want to distribute it? Like one of the platform that people, the person asked is Google. Google is not a way for you to like create content and distribute, because it's more like a being discovered. So if you want to be discovered on Google, there's actually 2 ways. First, you'll be very active on YouTube, because YouTube belongs to Google. So every like Google search query, they will show the YouTube video first. Or you have to build a website. Now, again, on the website, you still need content, right? You still need to write something. You still need to post video or a long copywriting or picture. So where does all the picture and video come from? I would say that you still need to write it some way or film it some way or, design the picture some way. So why not start from a video like this, which is your core and pillar content? Then after that, you reuse the thing that you are doing this. This is my suggestion.
Yeah, because personally, I think that like even you see like a blockbuster movie, right? They also cut a trailer to attract you, to hook you, and they will post a trailer in YouTube in different format. Even in Instagram, you'll see it. So, I think that like what Aaron said is like how you utilize each and every social media platform to distribute the right content in order to attract people, just for them to know who are you. Yeah, I think that will be more appropriate to start off with social media, because like I always say like this, like sugar cane, right? We actually squeeze all the juice out from the school, and like we squeeze. So every content that you create in social media, make it like a sugar cane, like how you can squeeze this content in order to reach out to like the mass market, to people whom actually need you and they know you. So in fact, let's say there are a group of people who actually need your services, and they are in TikTok. And just because you don't post it in TikTok, so they don't know who are you. But just because you actually try way to actually post something from live video like this to TikTok, and eventually they discover you. And that is how you actually like squeeze every single possibility in across all platforms. So
exactly.
in social media, instead of like going really deep into one platform, might as well you try to go wide, but not go wide in different content. Go wide in a same direction of
Yes.
all your content. Yeah.
Yeah, be consistent on your content, because you take the worst thing that you can do is this, like in terms of all the branding that you do, right, is in inconsistency. Like people know you for two things. Then I would say that it's not that your brand is not so focused, right? When we think about Apple, what do we think, right? Yes, of course, there's phone, there's a computer, but what we think of is some cutting edge technology, right? Gadgets. So all this kind of thing is something that we talk about, okay? And talking about this, right? A lot of people, they try to brand themselves in this is what I get all the time, Aaron. My agent, when I started my career, a lot of agent actually suggested me, Adrian, why don't you do 一条龙服务, one dragon service, do everything lah, right? When they come in, you sell them property, then what else you
And
do?
then you sign out the Unify and
all the back
you have
end
to
thing,
sell furniture.
Yeah. Like I would say that, okay, sounds good. There's a lot of money making there, but think about that. That means your brand is no longer like very focused anymore, because you will be known as the furniture guy, the Unify guy, the water filter guy, the MRTA, right? MLTA, insurance. Like here's the thing, which I think, yes, again, legacy is more important than currency. So you can't just think about money all the time. Right, short term, yes, probably you can go ahead and do all these things. But in long term, you want people to know you by what? Oh, the property guy, right? So you gotta be really focused on, instead of like being pasar malam, whatever also you do lah, right? Focus on one thing.
I think certain industry is okay for you to provide like the entire service of that chain, but in certain industry, it's like not so appropriate. Example, today you go to consult doctor, right? And then before you go in, the doctor, the same doctor person actually start to sell insurance plan. And then after chit chat, and then they will start to sell you other product related, probably, probably different kind of brand, vitamin or whatsoever. So you'll feel actually very weird, right? And then even though he'll follow up with selling you different kind of product again. So I think different industry will have a different a way of doing it. Of course, you're talking about IKEA, talking about this like Carrefour or Tesco. That is different story. Okay, of course, that one is actually provide a service called convenient. So in us, if you start to provide buy or sell property, and then you also start to provide like Unify, and then you start to do like MRTA, and then you also start to provide like furnitures, then eventually, how are you going to let people to think about you when they want to use your next service? Because you can't be the to-go guy. Let's say there is no one person to talk to a friend and say, hey, I want to buy a property and I want to go with the agent that give me all the convenient one. Chances are they want to go, chances are they go to the one, the professional one.
Yeah, if I want to say, yes, you probably can find such agent with all the services, but it's not himself doing. He has the connection. He bring you.
In fact, I'm talking about this right now, Aaron.
Yeah,
I'm saying that in another way, right? Instead you tap out everything, you yourself that provide the service, you yourself that sign up to be the reseller or whatsoever. Why not you think about another way? Work with each other, access to different people database. Like let's say today you work with a Unify guy. A Unify guy may also have a buyer that wanted to buy property.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can work with a furniture guy. A furniture guy, sometimes you will ask the client, hey, which type of furniture are you looking at? No, actually we are looking at what are the nicest furniture around, because probably I passed by and I'm actually looking for property right now. So they can refer to you, since you're looking for property and in this area, might as well you look for my favorite agent, call this guy, and probably he can give you, like different view and give different advice that you can consider. So you try to get connected with different industry people. That what about all these people start to refer client to you?
Yes.
Doesn't that sound better?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Instead of you being doing all the business you connect the business to other people. There's one of my very rich customer told me this, Adrian, if you ever want to be successful and rich in your life, right, you gotta make sure that people around you make money.
Yep.
That's I think the best advice that I've gotten in my whole life. Because here's the thing: you can't only make yourself make money. You gotta make sure that everyone surrounding you are able to make money. So that way, they will be able to bring more customers to you. So it's all, I always believe in karma one, like, which is why we are, like me and Aaron, we are doing this like live video, because we are doing this right now. We're giving out our time and also our knowledge out for free. Why? Because we know that someone watching this video can change their life because of just maybe one advice or two advice. And that person, right, we don't expect anything, but probably somewhere down the road could be helping us with our career or in any kind of way.
But probably we expect one thing, can or not?
Yeah.
Help us to print screen and tell us what you learned.
All right. Yeah. Hey, do this. Today, if you are learning, like taking value from this session, right, just screenshot this live video, and post it on Instagram story and tag both of us. Our handle right
our
there.
Instagram story is actually down there. Mine is Aaron _ sell and Adrian is Adrian Sell Marketing. So probably we'll take
tag
like
us.
10-second pause, right?
Yeah. And then you write one sentence, right? What you learned today. Aaron, we have one question here from Conton. You probably want to pin it.
Yeah, Kozon. Thanks, Kozon, for asking this. All right. So different social media like Facebook, IG, TikTok, and with different client. Okay, I think I can't answer you in a very general way. I can't answer you in a very specific way, but in the general answer to this question is like possibly some people, if you notice those younger generation, they are okay not to have Facebook. Or probably I would say this, they are okay not to switch on the apps of Facebook apps in a day, but they are not okay not to switch on Instagram. Meaning to say they will live with Instagram but less on Facebook. Okay, like myself, honest speaking, if one day I didn't even log into TikTok, I'm totally okay, no issue. Even second day, I'm not logging into TikTok, I'm still okay. But for some people, logging into TikTok is like daily or maybe hourly activity. So in order to answer you this question, Kojon, I was saying that, I think the point of view here is actually different age group of people, different interests of people, they will log into different platform. So sometimes he also in Facebook, but he may not notice your ads. Probably he is less active in Facebook. But just because he's very active, he or she very active in Instagram or TikTok, then there will be high chance that he will be bumped into your advertisement. And they will send you a message that, hey, I'm actually interested in your service. So in fact, just to tell, because recently all the pandemic thing and all this thing, I actually bought a few like disinfection thing, the sanitizer thing, not from Facebook. It's actually from Insta Story advertisement, sponsor ads. So because you scroll the story and then suddenly you see the ads, and then the one thing that I bought is actually the UV thing, like you scan with a UV thing. So like this thing doesn't catch my attention in Facebook at all. Like I don't remember I see it in Facebook, but I see it in Insta Story. So I then spend money and buy it. And I hope I answer your question. But for the same product, you can actually post it in different platform. Possibly also in Facebook, they are not targeting my interest. So the ads doesn't show up. Maybe, I don't know.
I would say that like I'll take this live as one example. Today, somebody not on Facebook probably won't see this live video. End of story, right? Because they are not. This is not being streamed to Instagram. But today, how can I reuse this to capture people from Instagram? By repurposing, like cut this video and whatever, make it into an Instagram format, like 1 minute square video or IGTV 10 minutes video. Then I can capture them. Now, will I get different client? Of course. Like Aaron said, some people just don't want to go on the Facebook one, because how many of you here actually, like, honestly speaking, like don't like Facebook in a way that, because there's too many negative news, right? A lot of like bad news always talking about all these things. Then you probably don't want to hear . I go to Instagram, I can still learn things. And actually right now I prefer Instagram, because I feel that Instagram is more positive and also more empowering, because it only shows me content that I follow. Unlike Facebook in a way that if I join certain group, right, and someone who I don't know shared a content into the group, I will see that thing as well. And all these things, right, is not being regulated by me. Facebook decide to show me that. Right, so that's why people behavior is different. And by the way, when you go to TikTok, you can even look at all the videos of the people that you never follow. So sometimes it's interesting. it's interesting that you go into TikTok, and TikTok doesn't have any, like, they regulate it quite well, which I very, and I salute them, which is not a lot of bad news in there. There's very little negativity in there. Right, so which is
And
why
a lot of humor.
Yeah, a lot of humor in there.
Fun humor, yeah.
People go there for different reasons. I'll give you one very good example, Kozon. The other day I was interviewing Natasha. If you haven't seen it, right, go to my page 2 days ago. You can watch it. She told me that she actually got a doctor client from TikTok. And now let me tell you why TikTok specially have doctor. Think about it now. I actually come to a conclusion at the end, right? Right now, doctor is one of the most stressful job. Agree or not? During COVID time. So when these people are so stressful all day, right, they need to unwind themselves. And Aaron just told you, in TikTok, there's a lot of humorous thing. Like, unlike Facebook or whatever, TikTok is fun. Like, go in there, you can watch things and laugh, which I think that's why doctors are in there to unwind. So that when her content is up there and, capture the doctor attention, doctor and inquire something with her. That's how she got the lead. That's what I think, like the theory of mine. But yes, definitely you can get different group of people.
For information, there are a lot of pilots, there are a lot as stewardess and all these things, because currently probably some of them are a bit like there's time. So what they do, they also acting in TikTok and all these things. Yes. So not to mention, TikTok is not just for like age group that like 20 or below. No, it's actually like you'll be surprised, like age group from 10 plus years old all the way to like probably 40, 50 years old. They are in TikTok. Yeah. So yeah, because to me, I also log into TikTok just to unwind, like what Adrian said. Okay, that day I just leave it blank and then I just look at video and laugh. That's it. And probably after I look at it, I realize it's already 1 hour.
Yeah. Right. All right. So, yeah. Hopefully we answer your question, Kozon. Yeah. So by the way, if you like this session today, be sure to share it with your friend, because usually we do it in Chinese. Yeah. Today we're doing it in English.
But I think we'll commit at least once a month English, right?
Yeah, I think we'll do it once a month in English, right? Yeah. If you want to don't want to miss any of our session, right? Just follow our page. After you follow, right, be sure there's a bell button, right? Just check the bell button so that whenever we go live, you will be able to receive all live notification. At the same time, if you learn something today, it will we really much appreciate today if you can just screenshot this live video, screenshot it, and then post it on your IG story, and then tag both of us and write one thing that you learn from this live session. And that will be, thank you very much for that.
Yeah. Right. I think one thing that we can summarize today's session is like during this pandemic, people are forced to go digitalized. Like even there are a lot of businesses whom I usually patronize that they had not thought of going to online, but recently these 2 years they have forced themselves to go online. They're actually having menu in online or thing that I can buy online through the same merchant. So what I think as a real estate agent, if you're in real estate industry, start not to only think about how to sell property. That is like very daily basis thing. Also start to kind of think into angle that how to build your brand, because that will be a long-term thing. And building brand in digital world is so much easy and convenient. Okay, compared to like in those offline world. Of course, offline world there is also different strategy, but you can build your brand, like you can do a lot of like print press, like interview, the magazine, all these things. However, in online world, it's like you can do it in anywhere, literally anywhere or anytime. Okay, and you can also do it in different day. Like for example, I think about a topic. I use a mobile phone to film myself talk about that topic professionally. Tomorrow, I can edit it, and then on the third day, I will actually post it. So it actually can fill up your time when you're free and then do it. Why? Because just too many people don't see the short-term effect on it. But once you consistently doing it, you are just like a magnet to your buyer. But your buyer will automatically attract to you, just because they are actually need your service, need your advice, and they found you. So once they found you and they experience your service, what they do is they will like just to recommend to all their friends. If you're in any property needs, this is the guy. Just go for this guy, and that will actually a big effect that will give it to you in long run. So yes, don't just focus in daily activity. Of course, daily activity is very important. So I think always my strategy is very simple. if a week is 7 days, and chances are probably you will take a day off, right? So utilize the 6 day, right? You just use at least one night, 2 hours or 3 hours. Let's say, okay, every Thursday, 2 to 3 hours, I'll be taking care of my personal branding thing. Plan what to post and then do content, and even you want to do live or whatever thing that you at least schedule out, for the next 5 days, what you want to do. So that will be actually help you in maybe 1 month time, 2 month time, or maybe 3 month time. And right now, people are actually locked down at home. The speed of getting effect is much more faster.
Yeah. So don't miss this opportunity, I would say. Like leverage on this pandemic. That's the most positive word I think we can say.
Don't waste any good, crisis.
Don't waste any good crisis. That's a better way to put it. Right. For every crisis, there's an opportunity for you to rise up. So I think leveraging through the internet and social media is one of the way. So great. I think it's almost 1 hour. Thank you guys for tuning in today. For those of you who are here, if you learned something, comment in the comment section. Yes, comment yes in the comment section. I want to see, right? How many of you learned something today? So I see Louis. Thank you for making all the notes. Hello, Ken, Yang, Yen. Hello, Connie, Emerson, and of course, Kozon as well. So thank you guys for coming in today. And by the way, if you have any more questions,
Ken and Andy as well, yeah.
Yeah, right. And if you have any more question that you want to ask us, just sign up in our website, salesforce.com. If you have a lazy to type, just in the comment section, comment SSS, then we will send you the link. You can go into the website and you ask us any question, and we will answer it in the next live session. Which is
by the way, asking us question is free. no need to do it. We don't charge you on that.
We don't charge, yes. And by the way, your question is our inspiration. I was gonna say that, right? Without your question, we can't do this show. So yeah, ask us more question. And
and we really appreciate question that you ask, like especially just now you just pop up like Kozon, and some of you are really asking a great question that give us a great thought on it, and also hopefully our answer did help you. So thank you so much, and I think that's for today. Stay healthy.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
See you. Bye bye.